Let us understand how to write answers in examination or test papers. Here we have question on mean, mode and median. Question is, provide two examples of each of the following. We have two cases here. The first one is, write 5 different single-digit numbers whose mean is 6. And the second one is, write 5 numbers whose mean is 7 and mode is 5. So in the test, you have to read the question very carefully, take your time to understand, and then write down your answers. Never be in a rush to answer. That is very important, right? Think as if this is the most important test of your life, and then do your best. Let's go through the question once again. It says, write 5 different single-digit numbers. When they say single-digit numbers, that means numbers from 1 to 9, whose mean is 6, correct? So, let us see how to answer this question. When it says 5 different, then we can write 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fill in the blank dashes, right? So we know we need 5 different numbers, and all of them have to be single digit, whose mean should be 6. So one of the best answers is, if you want mean of 6, then write 6 right in the center. These are 5 numbers, right? Write 6 right in the center. Write one number more and then one less. Let's say 7 and 5 and then 8 and 4. So that is how you can get 5 numbers with 6 as the mean, and all 5 are different. I hope you understand. Plus, let me remind you, when you started this question, it was written on the top, provide 2 examples. Do you understand? 2 examples of each of the following. So at times, if you're in a rush, you may miss that part, right? 2 examples. So even if you know how to answer, you may just write 1 example and move forward. Remember, you have to provide 2 examples. So let's provide 1 more example. So we will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you now give me 5 different numbers whose mean is 6? And they all are different, right? 5 different single-digit numbers. Well, we could actually avoid to write 6 also here and have average of the 2 to be 6, but that is a difficult choice. Easier option is, we can do something like this. Let us again start with 6, write 1 number higher, let's say 7, 1 number lower, right? And this time we can have, instead of 8, 9. That means 2 more than 7, okay? And 2 less than 5, 3. Now once you write your numbers, it's a good idea to check your answer, right? If we have 5 different single digit numbers whose mean is 6, then what should be their sum? Add them and find it out. But can you tell me, without adding, what should be the sum of these numbers? Well, if there are 5 numbers with 6 as the mean, sum should always be 30, right? Only then 30 divided by 5 will give you 6. Therefore, you should check your answer. Add these 5 numbers and also those 5 numbers separately, and check if you have sum as 30 or not. These are important things to check in the test paper. I hope you understand and appreciate it. Now let's move on to the next question. It is, write 5 numbers whose mean is 7 and mode is 5. Now this time we are given 2 things to satisfy. One is the mean and the other one is mode, right? So this time again we have to give 2 examples. So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not to forget, right? So we already have 2 sets in place. Now what do we need? We need to write 5 numbers whose mean is 7, right? Now here the numbers can repeat, right? So it is not 5 different numbers. Do you see? So that is the difference between these two questions. Now your numbers can repeat. It should. Why? Mode is 5. What is mode? Mode means most frequent. So at least 5 has to repeat, right? So that is how you have to understand the question. So let's read it once again. Write 5 numbers whose mean is 7. So let's write 7 in the center for the time being. It's easier, right? Mode is 5. So let us consider 2 5s. So that means we have a mode of 5. Now these two numbers should be different and they have to be more than 7. What these numbers could be? That is what you have to answer. How can you find these numbers? Well, if there are 5 numbers with mean of 7, then 5 times 7 equals to 35. So when you add them all, it should be 35, correct? That is one strategy. So what do you have total as? 10 plus 7, 17. So let's take away 17 from here. If you take away 17, what do you get? You get 15 take away 7 is 8 and 2 take away 1 is 1, 18. So sum of these two numbers should be 18, right? And you should not write 9 and 9. Then the mode will be 5 and 9 both. So except for 9 and 9, you can use any other combination, correct? You can use 10 and 8, right? So let's write 8 and 10 as our answer, correct? So that ways you get 5 numbers whose mean is 7 and whose mode is 5, correct? And that is a strategy of selecting the two numbers. We could have selected any two numbers whose sum is 18, right? So this one, I think now it's easy for you to write. So I'll leave that for you to complete. So complete that question and then move on to the next video. I hope you understand and appreciate the strategy which I'm trying to share with you, right? So a couple of things important to remember. Read the question properly. You should not miss on 2 examples, for example, right? Second, like here, 5 different single digit. So these are key words. When you read carefully, only then you get them. Otherwise, you can miss them. If you miss them, you get a wrong answer, right? So be careful. Take your time, answer them, and put everything very neatly so that anybody can read it. That is most important. Thank you and all the best.